Hey, what's up guys, Best and West here, and today I'm going to be going over a few practice battles that I had with Zayzilla that you've probably seen on my channel before, and the one, the only PokéAK. So we didn't show each other's teams. It's really early in the preparation for the Sinister Cup, so pretty much what we did was we just kind of used random Sinister Pokemon that we are considering putting on our final teams. So don't take these practice battles for anything more than just trial and error and trying to get a feel for the Sinister Cup. So without further ado, let's get to them. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get started with these practice battles against Zayzilla. I lead off with Steelix, he leads off with Haunter. And so this is a good matchup for me because I have that crunch. And whatever Haunter throws at me, it's going to deal a lot of damage, don't get me wrong. But Steelix is bulky enough to take those hits. So he switches out into Empoleon, which is a good move, but I switch into my Haunter. Now Haunter is going to be taking a lot of damage from those waterfalls, but I am able to charge up really fast and it is dealing a lot of damage back. So I get my charge move off and we simultaneously feint. So that was actually a win because I was able to just feint him without having to use a shield. So he sends out Alolan Marowak. I send out my Girafarig. My Girafarig is going to be resisting those ghost type moves, so that includes Hex, Shadow Ball. I'm going to get this Thunderbolt off. He decides to shield, so now he's out of shields. I have 2 shields left. I decide not to block this because if it's Bone Club, not that much damage, and I resist that Shadow Ball. He sends out Haunter back out, and I'm going to resist this Shadow Punch, and I'm dealing super effective damage back to Haunter because of Haunter's sub poison typing. He sends out Alolan Marowak after I knock out his Haunter, and Bone Club knocks out my Girafarig. But I have Steelix with 2 shields, so I'm going to go ahead and shield this one up. It's going to be a Bone Club. Would have dealt super effective damage. I get this crunch off. He has no more shields. This is going to deal super effective damage, and that will knock out his Marowak. GG for game 1. Going right into this second battle against Zayzilla, I lead off with Misdreavus, and he leads off with Mawile. And this is a bad matchup for me because his Mawile is going to be using Bite. I'm going to get this Shadow Sneak off, and it's going to deal neutral damage, I believe. But it's just not dealing that much damage. I go ahead and switch into my Poliwrath. He brings in his Medicham, and I'm going to get this Ice Punch off. He's not going to block this because he's probably expecting a Power Up Punch. He's going to get a Charge move off right here, Power Up Punch, and I'm going to take that. Now I'm going to use Power Up Punch this time because I want to charge up those bubbles. And he's not going to block that one either. And I'm not going to get another charge move off, unfortunately. But I do have 2 Pokemon that will deal a decent amount of damage back to Medicham, but he gets a charge move off first. I'm going to go ahead and shield this up, not knowing what it is, and that's mainly because I want to knock this Medicham out. But I decided to let it go because I didn't want to burn 2 shields. Send out my Claydol, knock it out with my Future Sights. He's going to send in Mawile. Mawile, again, is going to be doing super effective damage with those bites. I go ahead and get this Earth Power off, and he's going to block it. It would have done super effective damage otherwise because of Mawile's Steel typing. Uses Iron Head. I go ahead and block that. Now I'm going to feint it out with my Future Sights. He gets a chart. He sends out Alolan Marowak. Earth Power, if he doesn't block it, is going to deal super effective damage because of Alolan Marowak's fire typing. He gets a charge move off, and this is going to knock out my Claydol. GG. Alright, getting right into the next battle. I go ahead and lead off with Bastiodon. I'm trying the double tank technique, similar to it using an unbalanced lineup. He led off Girafarig, and he switched right away. I go ahead and bring in Haunter after he brings in Medicham. He gets a charge move off. It's going to be an Ice Punch. I'm going to go ahead and soak that. I'm going to get a Shadow Punch off, and he's going to eat that, and he's going to be feinted by my Shadow Punch. And so that's pretty much Haunter's thing though, right? He's very squishy. He's going to be able to knock out your opponent, but he's going to die super fast, right? But he sends out Girafarig back out. I send out my Bastiodon back out. So now it's just pretty much back to the lead matchup of Bastiodon versus Girafarig. Let's go ahead and use Thunderbolt, neutral damage, but Bastiodon is such a tank. Gonna go ahead and get this Stone Edge off, and he's gonna block that Stone Edge. So now I'm up 1 shield. He sends out his Alolan Marowak, and this is a good matchup for me. And I also still have that Steelix in the back, so either way, it's a good matchup. He has 1 shield left. I have 2 shields, so this is great for me either way. So he's gonna get a charge move off, and I decided to block this because I do have 2 shields. This is my last Pokemon anyways. Go ahead and get this Crunch off right here. He's gonna decide to block this, and he's gonna get another charge move off. Now, I think I decided to eat this mainly because I wanted to see how much damage it would do, whether it be Shadow Ball or Bone Club. I'm not sure what I would have done if I didn't want to see how much damage it did. I go ahead and knock out his Alolan Marowak using that Crunch. He sends out Girafarig back out. I still have a shield. Get this Crunch off. It's going to deal super effective damage, I believe. Yes, it does, and knocks out his Girafarig. GG. So going to the next battle. So if you guys haven't noticed, I've been kind of trying unbalanced lineups to see if it works pretty well, because it seems like it's always either a Ghost, a Tank, or a Tank Destroyer, right? So it's usually one of those 3. So it's kind of rock, paper, scissory. So if there's any way that I can give that advantage to myself, then I'm trying to figure it out in these practice battles. So I'm using unbalanced lineups, but as you can see, led off with Frostlass against his Empoleon. I was able to get a Shadow Ball off, and that swung it, right? He ate a Shadow Ball, and pretty much I was able to knock out his Empoleon. He sends out Medicham and knocks out my Frostlass. I do have switch advantage now, so this is great. I send out my Cresselia. He's going to get a charge move off right here. Power up punch. That's kind of what I expected. He wants to power up those counters. I'm going to get a charge move off. I'm going to send out a Moonblast to deal super effective damage to Medicham. He's going to eat it, and he's pretty much almost dead. So at this point, he's either going to switch out, which I highly doubt, or I'm going to faint him out. No, he does switch out. Switches out to his Mawile. I send out my Medicham. Even though Medicham is going to be taking neutral damage from those bites, I am going to be dealing neutral damage back with my Power Up Punch and my counters. So this is a winning matchup for Medicham, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to get a charge move off. Play Rough would dealt super effective damage if I had not blocked. I'm going to get this other Power Up Punch off, knock out his Mawile. He sends out Medicham, and I just counter it down. GG. Alright, we're going to get into this last battle against Zayzilla. I lead off with Slowbro against Empoleon. So I'm going to be dealing not very effective damage to Empoleon. He's going to be dealing not very effective damage to me with Waterfall, because I'm Water type, he's Steel type. We resist each other's fast moves. I'm going to get this Ice Beam off. Not very effective damage, and I'm also not getting Stab, but he sent a Flash Cannon, which was going to deal not very effective damage to my Water typing, but he sends out, was that Mawile, and I get this Water Pulse off so that I can deal neutral damage with Stab. He's going to knock me out, and at this point, I think I send out Steelix. I send out Steelix because Bite will deal neutral damage, I think. Neutral damage. He's going to get a charge move off right here. Iron Head, not very effective damage because I think his other move is Play Rough. Both of them not very effective damage. I go ahead and get this Crunch off, and he's going to decide to block it, but I do have another Crunch, and I get this off, so I think he may have just burned a shield for no reason, so I was able to take that. He's going to send out Empoleon. This is going to deal super effective damage to me. I go ahead and switch into my Xatu, and I don't think Xatu is going to be a good choice in this cup, but anyways, you see I blocked, right? Well, watch this. It actually went through. There was some weird lag, and yeah, that's just not a good thing. But anyways, GG's, Zay. Thanks for the match. Okay, so we're gonna get right into the next battle, and this is with PokéAK. I lead off Steelix, he leads off Mawile, switches into Poliwrath. I go ahead and switch into my Haunter. He uses Power Up Punch, and Haunter is going to be, I believe, immune to those fighting moves. So he's going to get another charge move off right here, Ice Punch, and I'm going to block this one though. So I'm going to get a Shadow Punch off right here, and it's going to deal a good amount of damage just because Haunter's attack stats kind of ridiculous. He's going to get a charge move off right here. I'm going to block it because I do have another Shadow Punch up. Gets the Ice Punch off. I'm going to get this Shadow Punch off. And this should knock out his Poliwrath. Yes, it does. Oh, almost. I get one more Shadow Claw off and knock him out. And that Poliwrath was running Mudshot. He sends out Mawile, and now I know what Pokemon he's sending out. And I think this time I send out my Bastiodon, and Bastiodon is going to be dealing not very effective damage to that Mawile because Mawile is part Steel, but I can do super effective damage with my Flamethrower. So that's pretty much what I'm going for. Get this Flamethrower off. He lets it go, and so knock out that Mawile. He sends out Drifblim, so this is a good matchup. I still have that Steelix, so like I mentioned, I'm running an unbalanced lineup, trying this out, see if it is any good. In this case, I'm running 2 tanks and a bodyguard for those 2 tanks in my Haunter. So he's gonna get this Drifblim's gonna get a charge move off. I have no more shields, so Ominous Wind knocks out my Bastiodon. I send in my Steelix. My Steelix has a ton of health, so I'm going to eat this Shadow Ball. And you see how much damage that Shadow Ball does, but luckily for me, I do have enough to get this Crunch off. And I believe this Crunch is going to knock out his Drifblim. GG. Going into this second battle against PokéAK, the one, the only PokéAK. I lead off with Haunter. He leads off with Dusclops. And this is a good matchup actually for me. I think he's actually running Feint Attack. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I get this Shadow Punch off. He decides to block it. He's going to continue to hit me with those Feint Attacks. I'm going to block this because I do have another Shadow Punch charged up. So go ahead and get this Shadow Punch up. And go ahead, and he's not going to shield it. So I have switch advantage, we have even shields. So he sends out Poliwrath, and he does knock out my Haunter before I'm able to get to my next charge move. I send out Girafarig. So Girafarig is going to be neutral to fighting. So if this is Power Up Punch, nope, Ice Punch, neutral damage to that too. So sends out Steelix, I have Medicham. So Medicham versus Steelix, this is a good matchup for me. Fighting is going to deal super effective damage to that Steelix, so I'm going to get that. I'm going to get a charge move off. Whatever it is, I don't block because I don't want my Medicham being farmed. So luckily I am able to take out that Steelix. I get this Ice Punch off. In hindsight, I should have used Power Up Punch, but he blocks it anyways. But I would have done a little bit more damage with these counters, but I decided to block this. Not sure if it's a good move or a bad move. I do get this Power Up Punch off, so maybe it was a good move. I think it was, because this is going to knock out his Poliwrath. GG. Alright, going into this last battle against PokéAK, and like I mentioned, we haven't really settled on teams. This is really just trial and error, trying to figure out which Pokemon are viable in this cup and which one feels right within our team. So even though I beat PokéAK 3 times, it really means nothing. So I lead off with Poliwrath, he led off with Steelix. That was not a good matchup for him, so he switched out into Bronzong. I don't really have too many good options against Bronzong, but I do have Medicham, and so we're good dealing neutral damage to each other. I decide to block this Psyshock because I know I need to knock out this Bronzong. I have nothing really to counter it otherwise, so I'm going to go ahead and invest some shields into it. I invested one, I'm not going to invest another. I am going to knock out this Bronzong with counters. I have a charge move charged up, so whatever is coming up next, I am going to throw a charge move. I get this Ice Punch off. I'm not sure if he's going to block it or not. I think he will. Yes, he does. So that was a good move on him. Otherwise, that would have done super effective damage. I'm going to go ahead and send out my Girafarig. Girafarig is going to take not very effective damage from those hexes, this Ominous Wind, or Shadow Ball. So all of those are going to deal not very effective damage. He sends out his Steelix. I send out my Poliwrath. So in this case, it was just kind of a rock, paper, scissors kind of type deal, in the sense that I did run a double fighting lineup though. So maybe that was just one of the, I just guessed correctly. Anyways, he gets a Crunch off, and I'm going to get this other power-up punch off right here. And this should knock him out. I think it will. Yes, it does. And he sends out his Drifblim. And I'm trying to get that Ice Punch, but I don't quite get there. But again, Girafarig comes back out. I have one more shield. He gets an Ominous Wind off. I do not shield. I get this Thunderbolt off, and I believe he has no more shields. No, he has one more shield. He gets another charge move off. At this time, I go ahead and shield. Another Ominous Wind. And I just confusion him down. GG. Thanks for the battles, PokéAK. Okay, so those were my practice battles with Zayzilla and PokéAK. Like I mentioned before, these battles do not give a good idea of how skilled and talented these trainers are. I for sure fall into these two multiple times in our practice battles. We're kind of just like messing with teams. We don't know each other's teams yet. We don't even have our teams yet. Just trying to get a good feel of the Sinister Cup and which Pokemon are going to be viable. Even though, like you just saw, Girafarig is really low on PvPoke's ranking, but you just saw how good Girafarig can be, especially with how strong ghost types are in this cup. Girafarig being the only Pokemon that to resist those ghost types is, I think, one of the biggest pros of running Girafarig. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, make sure you let me know by hitting that thumbs up. And if you haven't already done so, please make sure you subscribe to keep up to date with any new content that I may come out with. I hope to be doing more practice battle videos like this. So if you enjoy them, please let me know in the comment section down below. Also, let me know what is your sleeper pick. I've heard things like Blaziken. I've heard, I don't know, there's just a lot of crazy picks. Gardevoir, they're not crazy picks, but they're not picks that I would normally consider. So let me know what you think would be a sleeper pick in my comment section down below. So that's pretty much it, guys. I'd like to give a shout out to my patrons, Shagness, Zayzilla, who I just battled right here, and Blue Crab Carbs. Thank you guys for supporting me and keeping me motivated to make more videos. But that's pretty much it for this video. Until next time, guys, this is Best in West. I'll catch you guys later.